Hello guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to choose a niche. That's the topic we're going to be talking about today. How to choose a niche. So the first point when it comes to choosing a niche, number one, is for you to choose a niche or people you are interested in serving. Your niche should be people you're interested in serving. It's very important for you to choose a niche that has people you're actually interested in serving and people you have affinity with, because by choosing a niche, you're directly choosing the people you intend to work with. And if there are people you genuinely enjoy interacting with and people who you actually have an affinity with, you're going to be happy in the long run and you're going to enjoy that job. You're going to enjoy the work much more. Number two, make sure the niche is profitable. Make sure the niche is profitable. You need to make sure that the niche you're getting into is a niche that is going to yield you revenue. So how do you know if a niche is profitable? I'm going to give you some few steps and some few questions you have to answer. A, do your customers have the money to pay for your product or service? Do your customers have the money to pay for your product or service? For example, if your niche is targeting students, if in your niche your target audience is students, you have to ask yourself the question, would a struggling student have the money to pay for this particular product or service? Is a struggling student a student living on daily bread and from one day to the other going to have enough money, or will he see this particular product I'm offering as necessary? You're supposed to ask yourself questions like that. B, are your customers willing to spend money on your product or service? Are your customers willing? Here we're not talking about whether your customers have the money. We're talking about whether they're willing to spend money on your product or service. So even with some customers that have high earning, even with some customers that have the money, they might just not be willing to buy your product or service. For example, let's say your job is watering plants, or the business you want to get into is watering plants or watering indoor plants or stuff like that. Even someone who has the money might not want to use your service. Why? Because he or she can as well water the plants themselves. They can water the plant themselves, so they don't see any need to hire your services or to use your services. Or it also might just be that what you're offering, your product or service, doesn't just have a large enough market. Like, even though you have some few customers, those customers are not going to be able to give you enough money for you to call your business a profitable one. So you have to check all those things and make sure those kind of things are in place. C, are there enough potential buyers for your business to be a profitable one? Do you have enough potential buyers that are going to be able to make your business to become a profitable one? The easiest way to know if your business has enough potential buyers is to look at the competition. Are there already successful businesses serving that same market? If the answer is yes, then most likely there are enough potential buyers to make that particular business a successful or a profitable one. In that case, or in that scenario, competition is a major green flag. So number three and the last, choose to serve the people. You have to choose to serve the people in your niche, or you have to be willing to serve the people, or you have to want to serve the people. So generally, it's a very good practice to choose a niche that you know or you have enough knowledge about, so that you can be able to empathize with the customers, you can be able to empathize with the clients and put yourself in their shoes. By doing so, you're going to create a much better connection with them. When your audience or when your customers see that you really understand where they are coming from and you really empathize with them, it's going to give you a better relationship with the clients and with the customers, and it's going to make them to buy your product or use your services even more when they know you have empathy towards them and really understand them. So in that case, your target audience should be a previous or a present version of yourself, or at least people who you understand very well and have a deep connection with, or let's say people who you can easily have access to and talk with, and know their pain points and stuff like that. And now, more importantly, even if your target audience is a previous or present version of yourself, or even if you think you really know about your audience or your clientele, you have to still make enough research about your niche So you can back up the information you have with real data. Even if you think you really know about your audience, you have to do research, you have to ask for information, you have to go and meet people who are in that niche, ask them, that's the customers of that niche, the market, ask them what their pain points are, so really know what they're going through. So you have to make research so you can back up the knowledge you have with substantial evidence and substantial data. Because if you don't do research, you might be surprised that the information you have is either outdated or surprisingly wrong. So you always have to do research, even if you think you know a lot about your audience. So guys, I'm going to end here for this video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and stay tuned for my next video. So have a nice day, evening, and take good care of yourself, guys. Logging out.